Peace. What's going on, everybody? Give everybody a chance to tune on in before I start building on the subject matter for the day, man. Feeling real inspirational, motivational today, man. So I'm going to give y'all a chance to tune on in before I start diving into the subject matter for the day, man. Hopefully everybody is having a powerful Wednesday. Week been going good. Week been going smooth. I've been staying healthy, staying peaceful, staying balanced and centered out here. Mr. Barbados, what's going on with you? My brother, what's going on? How you living? How you holding up? What's the word, man? How everybody holding up? How everybody living? How everybody feeling? We motivational today, man. I got to talk to y'all today, man. Y'all got to stop being laziness. Laziness is a disease and it's contagious. So you don't want to hang around the lazy folks neither. It can rub off on you. That lazy energy is powerful, man. That lazy energy is contagious. Akuma, what's going on with you, my brother? Mr. Barbados, there we go. There we go. Keep it peaceful. Keep it centered. Keep it productive. Keep it efficient. Akuma, man, happy belated born day. 29, you catching up with me in the 30 club. Denise, peace queen, what's going on? Everything is peaceful my way. Hopefully everything is all good your way, queen. But yeah, we got to stop dealing with the laziness, man. Laziness is a big problem, especially in the Black community, man. A lot of us sit around and we complain all day about our circumstances and our situations. And what are we striving to do about them? Absolutely nothing. We just satisfied and content with sitting around complaining and crying about our situation. Look, if you're not willing to put in the work to change your situation, stop crying about it, stop complaining about it, and just take your L. Just take your L. Because nobody wants to sit around and listen to you complain and cry about your situation all day when you're not willing to put in the effort to do anything about it. Nobody wants to hear that. And we already know that complaining doesn't do anything to better your situation. So why are you wasting your time complaining about it? Just laziness is a problem. And I see it all the time. We look for those quick fixes, man. The microwave generation. I see it, especially in my line of work, man. But just outside of the fitness industry, I just see it, man. We lazy. We looking for the quick fix. And if we can't find a quick fix, then we just going to sit around and complain. Just going to mope around and we going to cry about it. Oh, Kuma, man, it's time, man. It's time to put in that work. Now is always the time. That's the thing. A lot of times when it comes to like our goals and things we striving to do, we always push things back. We say, I'm going to start this next week. Like, for instance, right now, if you was talking about, well, I'm going to start working out or I'm going to change my diet up. The popular notion would be to say, you know what, I'm going to start this next week. No, the time is always now. You don't have to wait until the beginning of a new week to start something new, start something different, to change. You can do that right now. If you tell yourself right now, man, I need to start exercising. What is stopping you right now from exercising? What is stopping you right now? Why do you got to wait till next week to implement this new regimen? Why do you got to wait till next week to change the way that you're eating? Like, we got to stop doing that. We got to stop postponing. We got to stop postponing our greatness, man. Stop postponing our development, our improvement. Got to stop doing that because you never know how life will hit you. So if it's Wednesday right now, you say, you know what, I'm going to start this diet Monday, next Monday. You don't know how life will hit you from Wednesday to that next Monday. And that can push back that start date. So you would never end up changing your regimen. So the time is always now. If you're trying to figure out when you should start improving your life, now is always the correct answer. It's always now. It's never tomorrow. It's never an hour from now. It's never next week. The time is always now. So that solves that. If you got it in your mind right now, if you're wrestling with something right now, you say, man, I don't know when the best time is. Now is always the time. Now, whatever it is you're wrestling with, whatever it is you're trying to figure out when you should do it, now is the time to do it. That is always your correct answer. We need to stop postponing that greatness and stop postponing that development. Point blank, period, man. Put your stuff into motion right now. That is always the correct answer, man. We got to just stop being lazy, stop being full of excuses. We like to play the blame game. Like, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. The reason why you're not in shape, the reason why you're obese, the reason why you are overweight, because you're not putting in the work. Simple and plain. You're not making time to go exercise, but you're making time to go on 50 million trips in a year. Come on now. Come on now. But then you want to complain about your health. You want to complain about being overweight, being obese. But the moment your friends say, well, we trying to go to Miami, or we trying to go to Las Vegas, or we trying to go to Denver, wherever y'all trying to go, then you mapping everything out. The whole world stop. You finna map out this trip though. But if I tell you, man, you need to go ahead and get into the gym, oh, I don't have time to do this. I don't have the money. I don't have the funds. But you generating all these funds for all these different trips. You go on 5 or 6 trips a year, spending all types of money. Spending all types of money on these trips. But then somebody tell you what to do to get in shape. Then you want to sit and complain and say you don't have the funds for it. Eating healthy is expensive. I can't afford a trainer. I can't afford this, that, and the third. Man, you can afford it. You can afford it. That's one thing about black people that I know for a fact, just from working in banks and all that type of stuff. We can afford it. We can afford to do better. That's not a concern. We're going to find a way to afford stuff that we want. So I know for a fact we can find a way to afford things that we need. So black people, that excuse is dead. Saying we can't afford something is dead. We make too much money collectively to be sitting around talking about we can't afford to do things that we need to do. That's dead. That no longer flies with me. That no longer flies with me. I've seen some of the most impoverished people find ways to muster up money to go on some expensive and extravagant trips. So nah, that's dead, man. We just don't be wanting the stuff bad enough. We don't be wanting the stuff bad enough, man. You don't want to get in shape bad enough. You don't want to get in shape like you want to go to Miami. That's the difference. That's the difference. That's why nothing is changing for you. That's why nothing is changing for you. People don't understand where this change starts, man. It starts in that mind. You got to want it. So if you don't want to get in shape, it's not going to happen. If you don't have that desire, that urge to get in shape, to lose the weight, to build the muscle, whatever the case may be, then it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Nick, peace, what's going on? And Maze, like I said, man, the best way to combat that depression, because I didn't realize something, especially in Black America, most of us, a large percentage of us are dealing with some form of depression. A large percentage of us are dealing with some form of like mental health illness or mental health condition, man. Just being Black in America itself. Just being Black in America itself is enough to give birth to the conditions that will create that state of depression. So most of us are battling some form of depression. Most of us, especially in Black America, most of us are battling some form of depression, man. But we got to combat that depression. We got to combat that depression. And again, the science is out there. Exercising is one of the best ways to combat that depression. And then the way that you eat also impacts depression. So if you eating processed and genetically modified foods, that makes the depression that much worse. Opposed to eating whole foods, then that actually alleviates the depression. Not saying that it eliminates it, but it alleviates it. It makes it more manageable when you eat the correct foods and you exercise. That helps tame the depression. So we got to do these things. We got to do these things. These things are necessary. These things are necessary for not only the physical health, but for the mental health as well. I can't tell you how many people I train and they say, listen, they cannot miss a day in the gym simply because it helps with the mental health. They feel like if they miss a day, like their mental health would decline. So we just got to start gravitating towards like healthier habits, man. Healthier habits in regards to things that we indulge in to help combat the depression and the stress that we're going to be faced with in life. Because you're going to always be faced with stressful conditions, stressful situations. And stress in and of itself is not necessarily something that's negative. Again, you can channel that energy in proper direction. So when you channel that energy in a better direction or in a healthier direction, then that stress actually becomes useful. It actually becomes helpful. But when you take that stress and you allow that stress to consume you, then that's when that stress becomes destructive and toxic. So you got to take that stress, man, and you got to utilize that energy, because that's all stress is energy. So you got to utilize that energy. You got to channel it in a proper direction. So you got to take that stress. You done had that hard day at work. Now that's when you go hard in your workout. So that's channeling that stress in a proper direction, opposed to saying, I'm stressed out, I'm going to go drink. that is letting that's allowing that stress to consume you. And that's allowing that stress to become destructive and toxic. So a lot of us, when we working out, we stressed out, but we channeling that stress in a healthier direction. We're not allowing that stress to consume us. So that's the difference. So we got to start channeling that energy, man, in better directions. That's it. That's it. Because like I said, most of us are dealing with depression. Most of us are dealing with some type of mental illness, mental health condition, man. I'm saying, just being black in America, we dealing with something. We dealing with it just off of the strength of that. Trey, be in peace. What's going on? Kyle, there you go, man. Laziness is crazy, man. Laziness is crazy. I see it all the time. Laziness is crazy. We find, like I said, we find ways to do what it is that we want to do. But when it comes to what we need to do, it's a problem. It's a problem. Like I said, working in banking, man, I've seen it. I've seen people just mismanage the money. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell y'all a story. When I first got into training, when I first started personal training, the difference, man. What I had, it was a white client I had, and I was breaking down the cost of my services at that particular point in time. I was working for a commercial gym, so I was breaking down the cost, and she looked at the cost. She was like, "Wow." She was like, "That's pretty expensive. I got a few trips coming up next few months. If I cut one of these trips, then I'll be able to afford your services. And I know that this is something that I need to do." So she cut one of her trips. She cut one of her trips so she could be able to afford personal training because she knows she needed it. So that's the type of stuff you got to do. You got to make the sacrifice. You got to make the sacrifice. A lot of times we're not willing to make that sacrifice. We're like, "Nah, I'm going to go on these trips. Forget getting in shape. I'm going to go get some surgery." Then you go get the surgery. Then you go right back. Matter of fact, it ain't even going right back. You get the surgery and continue on with your destructive habits and then wonder why things ain't going better for you. Yo, you getting the surgery, man, you still not changing your habits. First and foremost, the surgery in and of itself is trash. Should have never taken that route. But then when you get the surgery and you still don't change your habits, like, come on now. Come on now. Make that make sense. So we look for these quick fixes, man. Then we get the quick fix and we still don't change our habits. Like, nah, it doesn't work like that. It does not work like that at all. Jay Rocker, peace. What's going on? Thunder, what's going on? Kyle, getting up early. When I first read that book, man, listen, when I first read the book, Morning Miracle Millionaire, something like that. Matter of fact, let me get the exact title of that book, man, because I hate misquoting stuff, man. I like to give y'all the exact title for the book. Let me see. Yeah, what is it? The Miracle Morning? When I first read that book, and that dude, the author of that book, talked about the benefits of getting up earlier in the morning. So like whatever time you are used to getting up, he says get up an hour earlier. So the moment I started doing that, I'll never forget it. When I read that book, I was working in the bank, man. So I read that book and he talked about the benefits of getting up like an hour earlier than you are used to getting up. Man, I started to do that, man. I was never that productive in my life up until that point. Man, I got so much done just by simply getting up an hour earlier. It was crazy. It was crazy. I'm talking about, that's how I got most of my books that I finished. That's how I finished a lot of my books. I was finishing books. I was studying for personal training exams. I was creating routines for people. Man, I was doing a lot, man. I was doing a lot when I started to wake up an hour early. And that's just how simple it is. I tell people that all the time. Listen, if you feel like you don't have enough time in the day, I say, how early are you getting up? They say 6 o'clock. I say, well, you got to get up at 5 o'clock. Just got to make the sacrifice. Got to make the sacrifice. And a lot of people not willing to do that. Well, they say, I ain't a morning person. I tell them, look, I wasn't a morning person, but I forced myself to get up in the morning and start getting things done. Ain't no such thing as a morning person. By nature, we are morning people. Ain't no such thing, man. Like that night owl morning person. No. By nature, you are a morning person, man. You can operate and function in the morning, man. You just got to quit telling yourself that you're not a morning person. Trust me, any and everybody can function in the morning. That's how your body is naturally designed. All this other stuff is conditioning. Conditioning and it's nonsense. You are designed to wake up in the morning before the sunrise and get some things done. Like that's what you are. That's what you are designed to do. That's what you are designed to do, or you are designed to get up in the morning. You are designed to rise with the sun. Like you are designed to do that. You are designed to do that. So stop saying that you're not a morning person, man. That's false. It's a myth. It's nonsense, man. You can train your body to get up in the morning and be more productive, just like you can train your body to work the graveyard shift. Now, that's not normal. That's not natural, working overnight. But ain't nobody talking about that, though. That's actually not healthy. It's a lot of science. It's a lot of evidence to corroborate what I just said. Working a graveyard shift, working overnight is not healthy. It's destructive for the body. But then when you tell somebody to wake up an hour earlier, they start talking about how they're not a morning person. Come on now. If that's what you got to do, if you got to start waking up an hour earlier to get things done, then that's just what you got to do. That's what you got to do. Stop making the excuses. Stop crying about it. Stop telling yourself what you're not. I'm not a morning person. Yes, you are. Become a morning person. If you're not one now, become one today. Become one today. Because I can vouch for that. I can vouch for waking up earlier in the morning. I became that much more efficient and productive when I started to get up an hour early. I mean, it's just a great feeling, man. You up before everybody else, and by the time everybody get up, man, you done tackled your goals for the day. You done tackled your goals for the day, especially if you in corporate America, man. I was in corporate America, and the worst feeling in the world when working in corporate America is having to get right up and then just having to get dressed and go right out the door to go deal with corporate America. Man, you need that hour, man, just of that hour to yourself, man, to get personal things done. You don't want to just wake up, get ready for work, and then go tackle corporate America. That's why a lot of us deal with depression. That's why a lot of our mentals are all messed up, because we just wake up and we just go tackle the world. Nah, you need to wake up and have time for yourself. Give yourself an hour, man. Get some personal things done. I'm telling you, that does wonders for your mental health. That does wonders for your brain health. Give yourself that hour before you go tackle what it is that you got to tackle in the outside world. I'm telling you, it's going to make you feel better about yourself, because no matter what you go through after that, you say, man, that first hour, I got this, that, and the third done, and that was for me. So nobody can take that productive hour or that efficient hour away from you. It ain't gonna matter what goes on after that. You don't even care no more. You're like, man, I woke up an hour earlier and I got X, Y, and Z done. Everything else is just a bonus today. I done already knocked out the most important task for the day at 5 o'clock in the morning. Wisdom, peace, what's going on with you? Oh, wisdom, man, people, listen, people got money to spend. Like I said, when it comes to trips, when it comes to going to clubs, when it comes to eating at expensive restaurants, when it comes to throwing extravagant parties, like when it comes to all of this, people find a way to find the funds. And I saw Mike mention something about credit. Well, if you're gonna use that, and again, I don't even necessarily believe that, because again, I done worked at banks and I done just seen people literally mismanage the money that they have generated, just mismanage it. Then they go get in debt. But you mismanaged the money that you was making, and the money that you was making was plenty enough. You were just spending it on the wrong things. So then when you spend it on the wrong things, now that's when you start getting yourself into debt, because you didn't spend the money that you was making, which was enough. You just spent it on the wrong things. Now you putting yourself in debt, because now you got to get the things that you actually need that you can't afford, because you wasted your money buying the wrong things. That's how people start ending up in debt. I've seen it too many times. Seen it too many times. But if you're gonna get yourself into the debt, if you're gonna use the credit, why not use it for something that's gonna benefit you, which is getting your health in order? I've had people pay for my services using credit cards. So why not use that to get your health in order? Heck, you might be able to build your credit and build your health at the same time. So why not do that? Instead of, I'm finna go on this trip, get sloppy drunk, black out, and remember half of the trip. Drink nothing but alcohol, killing your brain cells, remember half of the trip. But then you want to swear up and down you have fun, but can't remember most of it, though. Come on now. Y'all remember half of the trip. But then you Akuma, man, listen, if I wake up sleeping in, to me right now is waking up at like 6 o'clock. If I wake up at 6 o'clock, man, that's a late day. I'm like, man, I slept in. It's 6 o'clock. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, wisdom, and that's why I say that's why a lot of people don't like getting certain pieces of information, because when people get certain pieces of information, now they're accountable. So when you do the knowledge, let's say to your diet, to how you eat. So when you start researching the proper way that you need to eat and you get this knowledge, now you're accountable for this information that you just received. So if you don't act according to this information that you receive, the only person you can blame is yourself. But if you never received this knowledge, you can always say, well, I didn't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to eat. I don't know what to eat. Once you get the information and you don't act on the information, the only person that you can blame is yourself. And people don't like to hold themselves accountable. That's why a lot of people would rather be held in the dark opposed to knowing something, because once they know, they got to act on it. So once they get the knowledge that indicates that the way that you are currently eating is destructive and trash, now you know. Now you know, and you know the science behind it. You know the science behind why you shouldn't be eating this particular food product or item. Now you got the science behind it. So now you know. So it's like every time that you consume that, you killing yourself, and you know it. So now you can no longer say, well, I don't know. I didn't know. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to eat this. I didn't know what to eat. Now you know. So once you know, you are accountable for that. You are accountable for that information. And that's why a lot of people would rather not know and remain ignorant. Because once you know, now you must act on what you know. If you don't, then that's your fault. You digging your own grave and you're killing yourself. And Kyle, and that's crazy. To me, that seemed like a justification for just laziness. Talking about the lazy people are the most creative because they try to find the easiest way to get out of something. You know, that just sounds like a justification for laziness. Because at the end of the day, that short way to get out of something, more than likely, is a trash way filled with errors. more than likely. More than likely. It's very flawed. I'd rather the person that's taking his time with it, man, taking his time, not the one that want to be. It's like working on your car. If you got an automobile, man, would you rather have a person that's lazy, that's going to rig up something because they don't feel like taking the time required to actually fix your car? Or would you want the person that say, you know what, I can fix it, but it's going to take me 2 days because I want to make sure I'm doing a thorough job? Nah, I'd rather trust the person that say, you know what, I'm going to take my time with your automobile because it takes time to fix it. Not rigging anything up. I trust that person, man. Take your time with my automobile, man, because I got it. Like my safety, my safety is in your hands. So take your time with that, sir. So I'd rather trust that person opposed to the person that say, you know what, I'm gonna rig something together for you real quick because I don't feel like spending 2 days working on your car. Nah. So they can have that quote. They can have that one. They can have that one. Mike, people are big time soft. And Kyle, you said what was the name of that book? The Miracle Morning. The not so obvious secret guaranteed to transform your life. So the Miracle Morning, you type that in, you're gonna find it. Yeah, Kuma, man, it's always about training the mind. It's always about programming or reprogramming the mind. That's what it's all about. That's what it's always about. Swoops, indeed. I mean, when people start talking about not being a morning person, it's funny to me. It's funny to me because they'll be the same people, like you said. They don't even stay up. They staying out in the clubs till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And hey, I ain't a morning person. You was out to 5 a.m. You was out to 4 a.m. You was out to 3 a.m. Whatever the case may be in these clubs, up to no good, doing absolutely nothing but destroying yourself. King Me, peace. What's going on? Swag, what's going on? Yeah, Kuma, man, and that's one thing I try to make sure I stress to people, man. You never want to just wake right up and get right into your day and start dealing with all the stress. Never, man. That's like every time I did that, man, those are some of my worst days. If I don't wake up and give myself some time to myself, man, it's gonna be a rough day. It's gonna be a rough day. If you just wake up and start tackling the external world, it's gonna be a rough day for you. Max 701, peace. What's going on? I already know about those type of shifts. Been there, done that. Know all about it. Kyle, like I said, man, listen, whatever new gadget comes out, I don't care what the gadget may be, I guarantee you that black people going to be on the front lines in regards to purchasing the gadget. They're going to find a way to be able to so-called afford the gadget, no matter what it is. But when we start talking about things that actually matter and things that they need, then all of a sudden that comes out the window. Eating healthy, expensive. Oh, I can't afford this trainer, expensive. Like little stuff like that, man. Little stuff like that they need. And like I said, I don't watch other ethnic groups budget in a way to where it's like, man, you a part of my budget. Now, I'm not saying black people don't do that, because I train a lot of black people that do that, man. But we got to do better in that regards. We got to do better in that regards, because our health is not increasing, it is declining. Our health is not getting better, it's getting worse. So that's why I always focus on health, because the health is getting worse. And the reason why it's so important that we focus on the health, because this is something in our control. You can control your health. You don't have to die of a lot of these ailments. You making a choice. Like your choices, literally, your choices are leading to you dying of these complications. So we got control over preventing these ailments and these diseases and these conditions that we are dying from. So that's in our control. That's in our control. This is one thing that we can control that's killing us. Literally, this is one thing in our control. It's our health. When you look at probably the top 5 causes of death in this world, probably the top 4 has something to do with the lifestyle choices. Probably the top 4. I think within that top 5, I think accidents are in the top 5. I believe so. I haven't looked at it in a minute, but the last time I checked, accidents were in there. But all the other four had something to do with lifestyle choices. It was cancer, heart disease, like respiratory conditions, and like stroke. Those can be prevented via better lifestyle choices. So you having over millions of people dying each year simply because we making bad choices. How does that sound, man? That ain't cool, man. Millions of people, over 1 million people dying each year simply because we making bad choices. And we act like it ain't nothing we can do about it. We act like this is just the way the world is and supposed to be. Man, 1 million people could be spared if they just made better choices. Literally. We just think about what I'm telling y'all, man. We lose 1 million people a year in this country, and it's probably over. The number is probably bigger than this. I'm just talking about like at least the top 4 causes of death. This is just like the top 4, top 5, which is over 1 million. If you add other causes, then this number probably gonna hit 2 million. But just the top 5, just top 4 out of 5 causes of death equates to over 1 million people. And that can be prevented just by changing your life, eating better, exercising. It's just that simple. Just that simple. Just that simple. But people want to act like this ain't an actual fact. People want to act like what I'm saying makes no sense. People want to act like you can't reverse these conditions. Forget reversing. Just take preventative measures. People act like you can't prevent these conditions just by changing the way that you eat. Like, come on now. Come on now. So people are going to listen to what I'm talking about. And they go like, nah, man, like it's genetics. You was born, like it runs in your family. Little stupid stuff like that they got us believing. They got us believing this garbage. That stuff runs in your family. Ain't nothing you can do. Old age. Like, come on, man. Like old age, man. I'm just old. Like, that's why I got dementia. That's why I got the stroke. It's just old age. That's why I got this cancer. Like, it's old age. Well, why you get the cancer at 30? Why you having a stroke at 30? Come on now, why are you born with asthma? Like you having asthma as a youth, as a youngin'. That has something to do with the way that the mother was eating while you were in the womb. They're not going to talk about that, though. They're not going to talk about that, though. They're not going to talk about you being born with asthma got something to do with your moms while you was in the womb consuming too much dairy products. They're not going to tell you that. Then feeding you the dairy products once you get out the womb. They're not going to talk about that contributing to this asthma. But go look up how many people die of asthma related deaths each year. But they're not gonna tell you it got anything to do with dairy. They're not gonna tell you it has anything to do with the mother consuming the dairy while you in the womb. They're not gonna tell you that. They're not gonna tell you that. They're not gonna tell you that. They're not gonna make it look like these respiratory conditions can be easily reversed and prevented via just making better lifestyle choices, changing the way that you eat, staying away from the dairy. They're gonna tell you that, not drinking that milk. Nah, you don't need that. That causes your asthma, that causes the respiratory condition to flare up. They're not gonna tell you that. They're not gonna tell you that. Dominique, peace, what's going on? Kyle, always invest in self. That's the only investment one should make, is in oneself. Invest in oneself. That's it. When you invest in yourself, again, everything gonna unfold according to that investment, man. Your dividends, your return on your investment gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice when you invest in self. Max 701, man. Everybody I know going to Miami. Everybody going to Miami. Kudos to the people that go on these trips, but then stay committed though. Like I got a few clients, man. They going to Miami. They in Miami right now. But they was like, man, send me some workouts to do. So I said, cool. See, that's how you supposed to do it. You have your fun, but then you don't get off track. You don't get off track, man. Just because you celebrating a birthday or something like that don't mean you got to get off track, man. I'm working out on my B-day. Man, my B-day is one day and it's 24 hours in a day. Why does that mean I got to postpone my workout? Man, my workout finna take 45 minutes to an hour, man. That don't mean I got to postpone a workout. Nah, man. Come on. Get it in, man. Get your exercise in. It's light work. It's easy. It's easy. And give yourself 30 minutes, man. You got 30 minutes. I know you got 30 minutes. I know you got 30 minutes. I know you got 30 minutes. You got 30 minutes because you be on Facebook, you be on social media for that particular amount of time and scrolling, doing absolutely nothing. So I know you got 30 minutes to contribute to working out and exercise. I know you got that. I know you got it. There's nobody on this planet that can sit here and act like they don't have 30 minutes to exercise. Nobody. I don't care who you are. Ain't nobody that busy. Nobody is that busy to where they don't have 30 minutes to exercise. Do some form of exercise. I ain't telling you got to be a power lifter or a bodybuilder. Just some form of exercise. Can't nobody on this planet look me straight in my eyes and say, I don't have 30 minutes. Nah, you can find 30 minutes. I don't care how busy you think you are. I guarantee you everybody can afford to exercise for at least 30 minutes each day. Guarantee you. Guarantee you. I know some of the busiest people on the planet, and they can find an hour to work out. So I know you got 30 minutes. I know you got it. Oh, swoops, that's 100% why. 100% why. That's why, listen, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear type deal. That's why I don't force information on people. That's why I don't force it. That's why I don't do it. Because, again, it's accountability. People don't want to hear that. People don't want to hear that truth, man, because, again, once they hear that truth, now they're responsible for that truth. Now they're responsible for it. Man, dude told me I shouldn't be eating this pork, and here go the science behind why I shouldn't be eating this pork. So now every time that they cook this pork and they eat that pork, it's in their mind like I should not be eating this pork. They don't want that. They don't want you to ruin that. They don't want you to ruin that for them. They don't want you to ruin that. That pork tastes too good. They don't want the little facts. They don't want the truth to ruin the taste of the pork for them because they enjoy it so much because they so conditioned and enslaved to this pork. So they don't want the truth. They don't want the information. All they want to know is I hear people say it's bad. That's it. But they don't want the actual science. They don't want the actual facts because when they get the actual facts and science, it's going to make too much sense to them and they know it. So that's why a lot of people do not want to hear you come around with that truth when it comes to attacking their lifestyle, attacking some choices that they make. That's why a lot of people don't want to hear it. That's why. Khalil, peace, what's going on with you, my brother? Antoinette, peace, queen, what's going on? Dominique, and that's exactly what it is. Exactly what I was talking about. EJ Elmo, peace, what's going on? Oh, Mr. Man, hey, Atlas 22, 100%. 100%. If I had a liquor store, I'd probably be good right now. If I had a liquor store, I'd be good. If I had a liquor store, I'd probably be making 6 figures right now. If I had a liquor store, sadly enough, like that's what's up. If I had a liquor store, that's what we'd be on. I'd be good. We gonna drink that liquor, man. People act like they can't get that liquor up. You try to justify that liquor, man. You don't need that liquor. You don't need to be drunk out here to have a good time. Like, what do people be on? Like, come on. What do we be on, man? Like it ain't that necessary, man. You could do without that liquor. I have a great time in life without being drunk. I have a great time in life being sober. I have a great time in life. Life is cool. Life is cool when you sober. Life is very cool when you sober. You don't need to be drunk. You don't need to be sloppy drunk to have a good time. Like that's crazy. That's crazy, man. If you can't enjoy life being sober, like if you can't have a good time around folks being sober, something's up, man. You need to deal with that. You drinking, trying to run from that reality, like, man, that you got stuff you need to deal with. You got stuff you need to deal with, man. You need to deal with it because, again, when you sober up, those problems that you're running from still gonna be there. So, like, nah, man, you need to be able to face the world sober. You need to be able to enjoy yourself sober. Like, you need to be able to do these things. It's important for your physical and your mental health. Atlas, man, 100%. 100%. I can't stand to see it. That's why I'm always venting when it comes to like health and things of that nature because of the field, because of my line of work. Can't stand to see. I can't stand to watch people just knowingly kill themselves. Like, you know, you're not supposed to be eating that, but then you don't want to hear me break down why you shouldn't be eating that. Come on, man. You should want somebody like me in your corner saying, hey, boom, don't eat that. Smacking it out your hand type deal. But nah, when you come around with that energy, you are the bad person. I hear you come around with this healthy eating, finna tell me to eat grass, like they making a joke and a mockery out of it. Like, come on, man, you shouldn't want to be growing up suffering from all type of ailments that could easily be prevented and got you on all type of medication. Like, you don't want to be walking around taking 10 types of medication to regulate the cholesterol, the blood pressure, to try to tame this type of cancer. Like, come on, man, you don't need to be living like that. You don't need to be living like that. It's about the quality of life. People don't understand that. People start talking about, people try to use this as justification for vaccines and things like that being effective, talking about the lifespan has increased. That's nice and all, but has the quality of life increased? No, it has not. We just living longer with these ailments. Instead of these ailments taking us out immediately, now these ailments are taking us out years after the fact. That's not a good quality of life. It's not a good quality of life. So nah, I don't want to hear that nonsense. We just living longer with a lot of these ailments and diseases. That's it. That's it. That's all that's happening. The quality of life far from improved because we suffering from more diseases. The numbers are increasing. So that's how we can show and prove that the quality of life is trash. So instead of you living 5 years with cancer, now you might live 15 to 20, but you still having a cancer and it's causing you suffering. Like, come on now. Oh, Dominique, man, I'm 100% good, man. That accident couldn't slow me down, couldn't stop me. I'm good. I'm moving. Derek, peace. What's going on? Cal, I talked about that. I'm gonna put that on the screen, Cal. What's crazy is I talked about that during the pandemic. I talked about that when that first popped off. I said it's crazy that people was talking about how fast food is more convenient. But then when the pandemic hit, when it got real, man, the drive-throughs was out in the roads. So I'm like, so it's more convenient for you to wait 45 minutes for some food opposed to walking right into a grocery store and going right to the fruits and vegetables that nobody is touching. You can get you a boatload of bananas because ain't nobody touching the fruits and veggies. You can go get a boatload of raw fruits and veggies, walk right into the store, walk right out. Because ain't nobody in that produce section. Nobody. But you would rather wait 45 minutes for a burger that's killing you. And you saying that's more convenient? Get out of here. The pandemic showed and proved that it's not about convenience when it comes to fast food for people. Now, I can understand you saying it before this pandemic when you was able to just go through the line, probably get your food about 5-10 minutes maybe. But then when the pandemic hit, now you waiting 45 minutes for some food and you sitting there at 8-9 o'clock at night? Nah, it's deeper than convenience. You addicted to this food. You addicted to it. The additives that they put in the food got you addicted. So it's deeper than convenience. So it's not about convenience. So y'all can eliminate that argument. This pandemic showed and proved that it's not about convenience. This pandemic showed and proved that y'all not just going to these fast food restaurants because it's more convenient. Y'all are addicted. Y'all are hooked. And y'all talk about the people that are addicted to drugs, the crack addicts and things of that nature. But y'all hooked and addicted to the fast food, and y'all can't stop it. Can't stop it. Can't stop it. That's what it is. It's an addiction. So you got to call it what it is. Don't say it's a convenience. Nah, it's an addiction. That's what it is. Because it don't take me nothing to walk in the store and go grab some bananas, man. It takes me absolutely nothing to get that. It takes me no time to do that. None at all. It'll take me the same time to go walk in the store and grab some bananas that it would take for me to walk in a fast food restaurant and order my food. So nah, it ain't about convenience. I can walk right into a grocery store and grab me some bananas. I'm in and out. Go to the self-checkout. I'm in and out. Taking no time. So nah, man, we be trying to rationalize and justify our trash decisions, man. So we gotta stop doing that. Airview Peace, what's going on in the Kuma, man? When you fast, man, you become more in tune with yourself. You become more in tune with yourself. Your body becomes sensitive too. So your body will let you know what's up the more you start to fast. Dominique, man, I'm telling you. And another thing too, people got to understand the partnership here. Not only must you go to the gym, not only must you work out, but you must change the way that you are eating. A lot of people had the same goal. They try to get a flatter stomach, but they're not willing to change the way that they eat. You got to change the way that you eat. They tell you it's like 80 to 90% abs are made in the kitchen. So stop thinking you can suffocate yourself with a waist trainer. Stop thinking that you can do 1 million crunches a day. Like, no, you got to change the way that you are eating. You can't suffocate yourself with this waist trainer and still eat this garbage and think you finna have a flat stomach and a six pack. Stop doing that. It's trash, man. Stop doing 1 million crunches a day, yet you're not changing the way that you eating. Stop doing that, man. Change the way that you eating along with the ab work, and you're gonna see that stomach get flatter. You're gonna see that. Drink your water and things of that nature. Stay hydrated. Then you're gonna see that stomach shrink. You're gonna see them six packs and that abs and them abs form. You're gonna see that. But again, we always looking for the quick fix. We always looking for the quick fix. Yeah, Cal, listen, processed foods create a processed mind. Genetically modified foods create a genetically modified mind, or what we would call a grafted mind. So that's why a lot of us are walking around angry and frustrated, full of rage, because look at what we consuming, full of trauma. Like we consuming that. We consuming it. Cal, hey, man, they be binge watching. Listen, people be binge watching. Man, I know people. Listen, I don't know if y'all familiar with the Game of Thrones, but I know people that can binge watch this whole entire show in like a weekend. Yet you can't find time to work out. But you can binge watch 7 seasons, 8 seasons of a show in a weekend. But yeah, you gonna complain about being out of shape, being obese, and say you don't have time to exercise. Wow. But you can binge watch a show which each episode is an hour long. You can binge watch a show over the weekend. You can dedicate yourself to doing that, but you can't dedicate yourself to working out 30, 45 minutes. Man, give me something. Give me 5 minutes. Man, you can't give me nothing. You can't give me anything in regards to exercise, but you can binge watch an entire series. An entire series. Man, Mr. Hey, Atlas, you better than me. Give me 30. Give me 30, 45, something. Man, Dominique, man, anything, man, you can take, if you drinking some water, man, take your bottles of water, man, take a jug of water and you can curl a jug of water, do something, do anything. Do anything, man. Do something. Antoinette, I don't know, man. I know people just going. They just going to Miami. I have no idea. Oh, cool, man. When I studied The Millionaire Next Door, they broke down a lot of their habits, and it's real simple. Real simple. And health is important. Health is important. Even from the millionaires, man. It's real simple. Wise man, peace. What's going on with you, G? Swoops, I don't know if you on Instagram or Facebook, but you can look me up on either Instagram or Facebook by my name. You can find me on there, and then we can chop it up about that. And Dominique, and that's what it is. It's accountability. So, like at this point in the game, like when I eat something that I know I'm not supposed to eat, when it happens, then I'm already knowing what's about to happen to me. And that's all that accountability is. So then when I eat something that I'm not supposed to eat and something like my body responds negatively, then I blame myself, hold myself accountable. I said, man, listen, I got this headache because I ate this. I'm not about to be like, man, I got this. I don't know why I got this headache. This headache is stupid. Nah, if I'm eating something that I know I'm not supposed to eat and my body lets me know and my body responds accordingly, then I'm just going to blame myself. It's called accountability. It's like, man, I made the decision to eat this, wasn't supposed to eat it. Now my body responds accordingly. So that's on me. That's what it is. That's all accountability is. That's all accountability is. Yeah, Queen, me with a liquor store, that wouldn't look too good. Yeah, wisdom, and this a lot. Hey, 90% might be accurate. And Dominique, I for the life of me will never understand it. I get it in the sense where they talk about, things stressful. You didn't have a stressful week. I get it. And you looking for your little, your vice or whatever. I get it in that sense. But man, there's plenty of other things you can do that will take your mind off of the stress of the job. Plenty of other things you can do other than destroying yourself. Plenty of other things. Crippin' 2 times. Peace, man. What's going on with you, man? And that's what I'm talking about, man. And you just getting warmed up. You just getting warmed up. You just getting warmed up. Like that 290 to 218, man, that's a warm-up for you. That's a warm-up. What my man's Nip say, you ain't even take the victory lap yet, man. You warm, that's your warm-up lap. So you just getting started. That's light work. That's light work. Elijah, let's get it. Let's get it. Like I said, it's light work. It's light work. Y'all warming up. Y'all warming up. Yeah, hey, there. That's what we talking about, man. That's what we talking about. Fresh ingredients, whole foods. Like that's what we talking about. Right now, I'm gonna give y'all the book of the day, the book that I'm chopping up right now. I just finished my book on fasting, but it took me a minute. But here go the book right now, The Future of Nutrition. T. Colin Campbell. If y'all don't know this author, he the one that wrote the book, The China Study. That book is big for people that go plant-based or at least striving to go plant-based. This is another book that's written by him. Book drop jewels on him. Book drop jewels in regards to the relationship right now, the part that I'm on, talking about the relationship between nutrition and cancer, and how back in the day, they had a few people that was coming out trying to drop jewels on the people, letting them know that there is a link between nutrition and cancer, and how they was trying to silence that information. So a lot of times people, you can't trust the science that's out here because they try to suppress the actual true science. So again, like I said, science can be corrupted. Science has been corrupted. So a lot of times when people say the science says, you got to question that. Just because they use the word science don't necessarily mean it is actual fact, because these scientists have been paid. These institutions, these foundations and all of that, man, you got to do the knowledge to these things. You got to do the knowledge to these industries, and you got to do the knowledge to the scientists or the people that's speaking on behalf of these industries, trying to tell you that it's okay to consume X, Y, and Z when we know deep down that it's not. They've been bought out. They've been paid for. Supreme Allah, peace to the God. Yeah, Dominique, and people don't want to hear that. People don't want to hear that harsh reality. So I tell them, and what they say it in all fitness books. Most fitness books you're gonna read gonna tell you the same thing. You can't outrun a bad diet. Can't do it. Can't do it. You cannot outrun a bad diet. You can't outlift a bad diet. You can't out squat a bad diet. It's only a select few. I know of like one bodybuilder, a few people where they pretty much can eat whatever it is that they want. And I still don't recommend this because in due time, your body gonna reflect that. But it's a few people that have been able to just kind of say, or at least they said they was able to eat whatever it is they want to eat, and their body still look like, look up to par. And just because your body looks one way doesn't mean that you are actually healthy. But for the most part, man, you need to make sure you are changing the way that you eat. Akuma, man, that's crazy. And I know a lot, man. I know a lot of people that did that, man. I know a lot of people, man, that will binge watch a whole entire series. Give them, man, just give them 2 days off, man. They watching all type of everything. But then when you say, all right, man, 30 minutes, man, just give me some squats, jumping jacks, push-ups, whatever the case may be, they like, nah, I ain't got time for it. That's just laziness, man. Just laziness. Hey, Tony, there you go. Them hemp seeds, right and exact. And Atlas, I don't know if you was on one of my streams a while back when I came across this regimen, and it was basically every hour do a minute of a body weight exercise. So every hour at the top of the hour, or whatever time. So say if you not starting at the top of the hour, but just within the hour. So if you at, let's say 3:30. So then at 4:30, you would do your next exercise for a minute straight. So it's like every hour you just do a body weight exercise for a minute straight. So let's just say you awake for, let's say you awake for 10 hours out of the day. That's 10 minutes of exercise. So let's just say, boom, at 3:30, you're like, all right, I'm finna hit some jumping jacks for a minute straight. Then at 4:30, it's like, boom, I'm gonna hit me some body weight squats for a minute straight. Then 5:30, let me hit some seal jacks for a minute straight. It's literally a minute straight at the top of each hour. Come on now. We can do that. We can do that. Oh, Derek J, man, listen, the amount of stares that I get when I start reading the back of like the food in the stores, man, they be looking at me like it's crazy. Like, this black guy is not supposed to be able to do this. He's not supposed to be looking at the back of the foods, and we're not. What does he know? Justin, all right, you say you're on a fast right now. So technically, if you consume a smoothie, it's no longer at that point really considered a fast technically. So when you fast, the technical way that a fast is supposed to be is you doing it dry or you just drinking water. So the moment that you incorporate the smoothie, it now becomes more so like a smoothie diet or a fruit vegetable type of diet, something along those lines. Is really technically no longer a fast. So when people say, because think about it, like a fast means refraining from something. So like when people start saying I'm on the smoothie fast, basically you saying that you're refraining from smoothies. You actually are on like a smoothie diet or a smoothie regimen. So if you're on a fast right now, man, I just say keep it water, and you ain't got to do anything extravagant, man. You could do 2-3 days, you good to roll. But again, even with fasting, just from the science that I have accumulated from that book and then the previous books that I've read on it, always listen to the body. Listen to the body. And then don't mistake your appetite for hunger. Don't mistake your appetite for hunger. It's the difference between your appetite and the actual true desire for hunger. Again, we think that hunger comes from the stomach. Nah, that's the throat and the mouth. That's the throat and the mouth. So a lot of times it's the appetite that kills us. Just that desire that we have to eat just because we want to eat. That's what an appetite is. Like, I can eat, but I don't need to eat. That's appetite. Appetite is not true hunger, because you can go a minute without food. So don't mistake the appetite for hunger when you are fasting. So when you hear the stomach growl and all that type of nonsense, that's not you being hungry, man. Your stomach is not trying to talk to you and make you eat. That's your mouth. I mean, that's the throat and the mouth. That's where you're gonna feel that. That's where you're gonna feel that true hunger. That's where it's gonna come from, not the actual stomach. Man, Dominique, I'm already knowing. You and he, I already know. Yeah, wisdom, like I say, man, accountability. Accountability is golden. It's golden. Yeah, Brittany, and there you go. I'm telling your body don't lie to you, especially when you start to cleanse it. Don't lie to you. It's gonna talk to you. It's gonna talk to you. You're gonna start feeling angry, and a lot of times we overlook those signs. Start feeling sluggish, lethargic, all of that type of stuff, man. The fogginess, mentally, like all of that, all of that. We just never listen to the body. We take those signs for granted. We take those signs for granted, man. I'm glad you listened to it. It's like, you know what? Nope, I'm good. Don't need that in my life. And you are right and exact. Don't need it in your life. Beast Reincarnated. I have not watched the Dr. Umar Johnson interview, the recent interview on Breakfast Club. I have not watched it yet. All right, Justin, you got it. That 1 meal a day, all whole food. That's the best way to do it. When you do the 1 meal a day, make sure that 1 meal is well balanced, all whole food. So you good. You rocking. All right, Akuma, man, she making progress, man. So we'll take that. We'll take that. Eli, what's going on with you? DJ Elmo, I have not. Not that I can think of, man. Off the top of my head, I've not heard of it. Lindell, peace. What's going on? Yeah, Swoops. And like I said, a lot of people don't understand the difference between that appetite and that hunger. People don't understand that difference, man. They mistake it a lot of time. When they start fasting, they think they starving. You far from starving. I don't know how many times I got to tell people that. When you fast, you far from starving. It's not starvation. It's a difference between being deprived from of food and then just saying, you know what, I'm gonna refrain for health reasons. Like, it's a big difference. Darth, what's going on? Yeah, Atlas, that was me too, man. I was able to eat whatever I wanted to eat, still look like I had the cleanest lifestyle. But I'm like, you know what? Nah, I'd rather actually feel like I live the cleanest lifestyle. Hey, Dominique, you know what's crazy? I recommend getting that book on fasting that I just read, The Science and Fine Arts of Fasting, because they talked about people that was lifting heavy that like actually never lost strength via fasting, which was interesting. Which I also can vouch for that, because I be fasting, but I don't necessarily lose my strength. I never really lost strength by fasting, but they talked about fasting and just kind of powerlifting and how some people back then set some records while fasting. So I recommend reading that book because they break it down. You know, they break down how you not really how some people were able to maintain their strength and even get stronger while fasting. So they broke that science down. And I can vouch for that, because when I fast, I normally don't lose a step, because really a lot of that is mental. So once I got over the mental aspect of fasting, like, I'll be good to roll. I'll be good to roll. But even with fasting, you don't have to do any type of serious fast. Like, you don't have to fast for like 5 or 6 days. You don't have to go on an extended fast. I mean, you could fast for a day. You know, you can fast for a day at a time and you will be good. So that's what I probably recommend for you, Dominique, man. Just fast like a day at a time, man, like once a week or something. You're not going to necessarily lose too much. If you lose anything, it's going to be unnecessary weight. I do the unsweetened almond milk. Hemp milk is solid. Oat milk is solid too, but I always do unsweetened. And the good thing about those milks, though, what's good about them, they tend to they call them fortified milks, but they tend to lace a lot of those milks up with certain nutrients that you may not get from all your foods if you're going plant-based. So like vitamin D, they put some of that in some of those fortified milks. That's in the almond milk and the oat milk and all of that. And they put a lot of calcium in them joints. So that's the good thing about those milks. I just make sure I get unsweetened when I get them, and then you can put them in like a smoothie, and that gets you that calcium effect, and that gets you that vitamin D effect just throwing them in a smoothie or something. So yeah, I definitely recommend throwing them joints in the smoothie, man. Definitely recommend that joint, man. Get you some unsweet milk, man, just for the bone effect, just for the calcium effect. Throw that joint in the smoothie, man, and get it going. Get it going. Way better than the other option. Way better than the cow's milk. I say that much also. Way better than that. Way better option. That milk is so toxic and destructive, man. Like, nah. Can't be fooling with that milk. Can't be fooling with that milk at all, man. Gotta opt for the better option out here. But hemp milk is a solid milk, though. Hemp milk is probably the best nutritionally speaking out of the milks that I mentioned. DJ Elmo, you know what's crazy? I actually have heard of that. Now that I think about it, now that you say that, I actually have heard of that. I've seen that. I've seen that. Yeah, Justin, it's powerful, man. Everybody fasting. See what I'm saying? Like this stuff that people need to see, man. We out here fast. We out here talking about fasting. We out here talking about changing the way that we eat. And see, this is stuff that we need to do, but this is the stuff that won't go viral. Like that won't go viral. Seeing a bunch of black men and black women talking about fast and talking about improving one's health. They're not gonna allow that to go viral. They're not gonna allow that to do that. Tony, yeah, I forgot about that pea protein milk, and the flax milk. Forgot about that joint. Airview, it wasn't out when we was young. It wasn't out. I know for a fact that it wasn't out. Know for a fact, wasn't out. They was out here poisoning us, man, with the cow's milk. Wondering why we all got asthma and stuff like that. Oh, Lindell, no doubt. Like the more of that you eat, the more of the bad foods that you eat, the more of it you're gonna crave. That's why I say it's an addiction. The more you eat, the more you crave. That's why it's best to stay away from it. And then another thing I don't really too much care for is the whole moderation garbage. You know, people trying to justify stuff. It's all good in moderation. No, ain't no such thing as a good or bad food. Like I've heard nonsense like that, man. Nah, chill out, man. Chill out. We always trying to rationalize and justify destructive habits. And that's one of the justifications. Well, it's all good in moderation. Well, if you eating a bunch of trash food in moderation, then what are you doing? So all the food that you eating is garbage, and you eat it all in moderation. No, that's not good. That's not good at all. So I love it when people say that. People, man, it's all good in moderation, but then they whole regimen consists of these foods that are bad, but they just eat them in moderation. But that's like your whole regimen, though. Your whole regimen is eating trash food in moderation. Like, come on, man, make that make sense. Make that make sense. You can't make that make sense because it doesn't. You cannot make that make sense because it does not. Yeah, Supreme easily led in the wrong direction. And we know who's responsible for leading them in that wrong direction. That's why we don't listen to them. See, that's why we don't listen. We don't listen to them folks that are striving to lead the people in the wrong direction. And see, that's what separates us from the rest. We not listening to the folks that got the sole intention to lead the people in the wrong direction. I ain't listening to them. That's why when they tell me something, y'all know who they are. Y'all know who they are. When they tell me something, I question it out the gate, question it off the rip, and I'm investigating. I'm not subscribing to what they tell me. What they tell me I should eat. What they tell me my blood pressure should be. What they tell me my cholesterol level should be. Not listening to them. I'm gonna investigate because they are telling me this for a reason. It's an ulterior motive behind what they are telling me. And they are not going to tell me the whole entire story, nor are they going to tell me the whole entire truth. So I got to investigate. Gotta investigate. They gave us the food pyramid that was so garbage, like it's crazy. They gave us that. And we were sitting around here thinking that we got to live life according to this garbage food pyramid that they gave us. That was responsible. That is currently responsible for a lot of these conditions that we are faced with. DJ Elmo, yeah, soaking the almonds, yeah, definitely want to soak them. Definitely. Activate more enzymes, man. Soaking always activates more enzymes with the nuts, with the lentils and beans and things of that nature. Tay, Peach Queen, what's going on? Yeah, Swoops. And by that time, once you change it, you didn't already, damage is already done. Damage is already done. You to confuse the people now. And that's why people so confused. They come out with this information that they know is incorrect. Then they try to change it. But people are confused. People are confused. At that point, now you confuse the people. Because when you keep changing up the culprit every 4 or 5 years, people are like, man, so what? That's why people come away with the conclusion, like, I'm going to just die anyway. I don't know what to do. I'm confused. Because they keep changing it up. And the reason why they keep changing it up because they're trying to conceal the truth. So that's why they keep changing it up on you, man. They're trying to conceal the truth, man. So they got to keep changing it up and they got to make it look like it's so confusing when really it's not. All they got to do is put the truth out, and that truth is never going to change in regards to nutrition, but they don't want to do it. They got to keep confusing the people. So then when you confuse the people, then that's when they label themselves as experts. Then they say, all right, we confuse them. So now you got to talk to the expert, pay the expert all this money just for them to give you the wrong information. Beautiful Goddess Keys, Peace Queen, what's going on? So that's how they operate. That's how they move. They cause the mass confusion. Then they get their experts out here, and then they instruct the experts on what they should instruct you to do. And then once you try to look up what to do, and now you confused because all this different information is out here. Now you hit up the expert that has been trained to lead you in the wrong direction, and that's exactly what they do. Lead you in the wrong direction. So then now what's happening? This is what's happening when they put all this misinformation out here and all this confusion out here. This is what happens. So then when they get the expert out here that's been trained to lead you in the wrong direction, so now it's easy for them to justify their claim because it's so much information that agrees with everything out here. So when that expert tells you that, hey, you can go on this keto diet, and then you start looking up the benefits of keto diet, guess what? You're going to find something because it's information on it. It's information on everything. What the dude called it, the carnivorous diet, man, it was the carnivore diet or whatever. You're going to find information on it because it's information on it. So you can find information on all these toxic diets and lifestyles, man, because there's so much misinformation out here. So when you walk into an expert and the expert tells you, know what, you need to go on the keto diet, and you start looking it up on your own, then stuff going to start making a little sense to you because there's going to be a lot of information out here that's telling you the keto diet is good. It's great. So that's how they get you. That's how they get you with all this misinformation. That's how they get you. It's literally an article out here that will agree and back up every type of diet and lifestyle. Literally. Literally. Terenzo, what's going on with you, my brother? And Brittany, woo-wee. Man, if I drank regular milk right now, I'll probably be out for 2 weeks. I cannot stomach that cow's milk at all. Not even close. That milk's so destructive and toxic to me, man. It's like the thought of it. The thought of it messes me up. Oh, Tay, hold on. Hard time. Nah, you got it. Get it in. Change the narrative right now. You're not having a hard time talking yourself into working out. You just got to do it. Stop talking to yourself. See, that's the problem. Don't talk to yourself. Just go do it. Just do what you need to do. You ain't got to talk to yourself to brush your teeth. You ain't got to talk to yourself to go to the bathroom. These things you normally do. Working out is the same way. Don't talk to yourself. Because you can talk yourself out of anything. The moment you start having that dialogue with yourself, you'll talk yourself out of anything. So don't even talk about it, man. You just got to do it. Because we can all find reasons why we shouldn't work out or something. We all find little reasons. We can all find reasons why we shouldn't be working out. Like we can talk ourselves out of that easily. Easily. Logic, peace, what's going on? Thunder Scorpion, you're back in the building. Lindell, man, I've been hearing a bunch of crazy stories, man, from this from this vaccine, man. It's crazy. There you go, say, let's get it. Put that work in. Thunder, there you go. Go ahead, get them collars in. Go ahead, get them greens in. See, that's what we got to do. This is the type of stuff that the world needs to see. If we was talking about ignorance out here, the world would see it. But since we talking about eating greens, working out, fasting, world ain't gonna see it. World ain't paying attention to it. World ain't tapping into it. That's what the world need to be on. Beautiful Goddess Key. That's what I'm talking about. Discipline, mental discipline. That's all it's about, that mental discipline. You got to train your mind. You just got to train your mind. That's all it is. Like I said, this stuff has got to become second nature to you. You can't think about it. Just move, do it. Boom, it's natural. Yeah, Airview, man. And that's why I realized, literally, I was holding myself back simply just by thinking. Like, nah, you know what? Just do it. Whatever it is you know you need to do, y'all just do that joint. Because again, you start talking to yourself about anything, you like, man, you know what? I just ain't gonna do it. I'll do it tomorrow. And you start finding a million different reasons, man, why you should do it tomorrow instead of right now. So now I don't even have conversation. I don't even have conversations with myself when it comes to things that need to be done. Because I've done that. I'll be in the gym like, you know what, man, I don't feel like lifting this weight today, man. I don't feel like lifting this heavy weight today. I'll just do it tomorrow. I ain't feeling it today. Start rationalizing like, nah, nope, eliminate it. Just get to it. It ain't gonna take that long. Just get to the money. That's it. Butterbean Brown, you say all life needs a consistent routine. That's what it's about. Creating that routine. Definitely what it's about. JFW, peace, what's going on? Akuma. And then even when you think about the body, like the body is semi-fridge. That's why you store a lot of elements of the food. That's why you store the fat. That's why you store some of the sugar. Like that's why your body does that. So the body is semi-fridge. It's a reflection of the external fridge. But that's why we store a lot of food. So that's why I tell people it's important what you feed yourself, man, because that's your fuel. And y'all already know how that saying goes, man. If you give, a car bad gas, bad fuel, and all that, is how it's gonna run. Not the best. So when you fuel yourself up on the bad foods, then that's why you're not operating efficiently and at the highest level. Because look at the fuel you put into your system. It's terrible. Oh, Brittany, 100%. Like what you say, how do you feel that CDC announced yesterday in Biden that only vaccinated people can go outside maskless and non-vaccinated can also? Isn't it weird how they are controlling our lives? That's what I said. That's what I said in one of my previous streams. I said one day we gonna wake up, like it's gonna happen overnight. One day they're gonna wake up and they're gonna tell you that it's okay to go out without your mask. And guess what? Most of us gonna do that. They got the control. All they got to do is say the word. All they got to do is say the word. They demonstrate and exercise their power and control a lot. And we don't even be realizing what's going on. If they woke up and they said, you know what? We are under attack. Nobody leave their homes for 24 hours. Most of us will stay in the crib for 24 hours. Like they got the power to do what they got the power to do that. They got the power to do that. And we won't even ask questions. We won't even be like, man, what's the threat? Nah, they told us we under a threat. We under attack. It's a threat. Don't leave the crib 24 hours. Most of us will listen to that. We ain't asking no question. We ain't asking not one question. So that don't surprise me. That don't surprise me at all. I'm not surprised by that. If anything, I like it. I expect that for the most part. Not surprised by it. Not surprised by it at all. It is what it is. I'm glad I'm not living in fear though. I'm glad I'm not living in fear. I told myself that earlier today. I said it must suck to be one of these individuals throughout this whole pandemic. It must suck to be that individual that's been walking around nervous with a mask on, gloves on, afraid to be around people, this, that, and the third. It must suck to be that person while I'm just walking around maskless, without a care in the world, just eating good, taking care of myself, and I'm not suffering and never got sick. It must suck to be that person that's living so much in fear and then just watch me enjoy life, not be afraid, and I'm straight. It must suck. It must suck to be that person that's afraid to live. Like, it must suck. It must suck to watch me say, all right, I'm gonna go out, I ain't wearing this mask. I'm gonna be around people without this mask. I'm just making sure I eat right. Take my little supplements, take the little herbs, whatever. I'm good. Drink my water. I'm straight. Exercise. I'm good. I'm not living in fear. So it must suck to be one of the ones that's consumed by fear and watching us not be consumed by fear and not get sick, out here doing wonderful things and powerful things. It must suck. It must suck to watch that. I would hate to be y'all, man. I don't lie. I'm glad I'm not consumed by this fear. I'm glad. I'm glad I trust myself. I'm glad I trust nature. I'm glad I trust the foods that I consume. I'm glad I trust all that. And I'm not allowing them to put this or instill this fear in me. Michelle, Peach Queen, what's going on? Oh, Kuma, man, I already know, man. I already know. Running them errands for people that you kind of fool with and you just kind of hate doing it. Brittany, what'd you say? CDC also said that it's less likely you will catch the virus outside. And people cannot wear the mask outside. It's been a year and they are now saying that. Yep. Terenzo, yeah, the gas mask. I'm finna give me one of those high altitude masks and just walk around that joint. And beautiful goddess keys, man, I'm glad you just said that. Unless they tap into the medical records unlawfully. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm glad y'all just put that on the screen because that's exactly where I was finna go with that. Bro, yeah, procrastination, man. That's a disease. I've been suffering from it for a minute. It's a disease, man. Like I said, now is always the best time to do what you need to do. It's never tomorrow and it's never next week. It's always now. So if you contemplate making a change, you say, man, I don't know what I'm gonna make it now. I don't know what I'm gonna do now. Now is always the proper time to do what it is that you need to do. Now, as now or never. That's what the lesson state, now or never. So if you don't do it now, you're never gonna get it done. So now is always the time to do it. Yeah, come on. We might as well put the mask on all the animals out here, man. Whatever you got a dog, put the mask on them. Got a cat, put the mask on them. The deers that's out here, put a mask on them. Like, come on. Yeah, magic rims, man. You gotta break that. We gotta break it. We in this together though. Like I said, I've always dealt with procrastination and things like that. Just always dealt with it, man. Just talking myself out of doing things I know I need to do. So I'm definitely breaking all of that. No longer doing that. If they say be your own worst enemy type deal, I'm done with that. Be my greatest ally in this joint. Yeah, Dominique, the only resolution is right now. It's best to do it right now. Always. Now is always the proper time to put things into motion. Right now. There is no better time than now. Because you're not promised any other time other than right now. So you got right now. Now is the time to put that thing into motion. Whatever it is that you contemplate. Right now is the time. But y'all, man, with that being said, man, I think I'm finna have to sign out this mug, man. I gotta make an important call. Y'all know I was in this little accident, man. I'm getting some calls here pertaining to this accident. So I think I'm about to have to make some important calls. So had a decent amount of time today, man. I appreciate this particular stream, man. I appreciate all the comments, all the interaction, the dialogue, all that good stuff, man. I'm gonna definitely tap back in with y'all tomorrow, though. So I gotta sign out for the night, man. I gotta handle this business. Y'all know how the business goes, man. It's life. Gotta deal with it. Not about to complain about it. Just deal with it. But y'all stay up out here, man. Y'all be easy and enjoy the rest of this Wednesday. I'm gonna tap in with y'all tomorrow. I'm out, y'all. Peace.